Denny, let's talk about effectiveness. We all want to be effective in our ministry calling. We all want to be successful. We all want to hear our Father say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Denny, in what way does my effectiveness in ministry play into the next generation that God is raising up?
My effectiveness as a ministry leader really has everything to do with how well do I hand the baton on to the next generation. I'll give you an example of that. We see examples of that. You find people who love coaching little kids. I was really into mountaineering and rock climbing in sheer face. I'll tell you, there's something, when I taught other people and turned them on to it, it was more exciting. I would rather teach it than do it myself.
Wow.
And I thought that could never be true. And I think that could apply in the church when those in my generation, if they have the right attitude towards the next generation, they can actually derive a great deal of joy and benefit and actually credibility by handing that over, not totally releasing it, but I have a few tips on how they could do that.
Let's hear them.
I'm going to spell them out real quick, then I'll give you an example. The first is be an example of a servant leader to a young leader.
Wow.
To be able to say, I come under you, Kent.
Wow.
You're in charge of this project. You tell me what you need from me. The second is be a servant leader example to your peers. I have a lot of peers who think they put in their time. They're just kind of coasting and they're not really serving anymore. And so I want to be an example to my peers. And the last one is be a champion of the young leaders, not a whiner.
Wow.
My generation can come up with more criticisms of young leaders that I think is totally unwarranted. It's totally unfair. Because if they think back, they made some of the same mistakes.
Wow, yeah.
And let me give you an example of that. Christopher, he's early 30s. I'm old enough to be his dad. He's got a great project. And I'm going, what do you need me to do? I come under you. You're the leader. And he's just going, wait a minute. No, I can't tell somebody who I admire and respect and has always been a leader in my life what to do. And I said, no, please tell me. I go, look, the gym needs to be swept. Ask me if I take the broom and sweep it. I can sweep just fine. And see, what he couldn't get is telling somebody who is his leader what to do. And here's what convinced him on it was the second point I made is I said, Chris, if you don't tell me what to do and I get the chance to do it, I cannot be an example to my peers.
Wow.
If you're not dead yet, it's not time to stop serving.
Yeah.
I want to be an example of a servant leader. And then the second objection he has is, what if I screw up? And I said, hey, you will.
Yeah.
We'll pick you up. We'll brush you off. I'll say, hey, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Been in the same place. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. But we'll say, hey, what do we need to do it better next time? And see, that was the thing that helped him get over that hump of telling the old man what to do.
Wow.
Who's always told others how we're going to do it. And so those 3 points, again, is commit to being a servant leader to the younger generation of leaders. 2, be an example to your peers of servant leadership. And third but last, be a champion to the young leaders. Don't whine about them. Look at what's good about them and be a champion for them. Be their biggest cheerleader. And I think that's the finest thing we could do. And in a digital era where people my age are saying, maybe I need to retire because I don't get this stuff. I don't like to be online. There's some quiet 19-year-old, they might even have autism, who are brilliant at the media stuff, who can actually add 5 to 8 more years to your ministry opportunities if you only trust them with what they know that I and my peers will never know.
Wow. Denny, thank you. Next generation effectiveness. It matters. You can do it.